There is a political showdown in Ivory Coast in West Africa. The country's elected leader has told his troops not to kill former President Laurent Gbagbo. A tense calm has now settled over the commercial capital of Abidjan this morning as French armored personnel carriers are patrolling the city. Troops loyal to the new president, Alassane Ouattara, are said to have entered the presidential palace but have not yet captured Gbagbo. A spokesman says Ouattara has told his forces that Gbagbo is to be kept alive because, quote, "We want to bring him to justice." Ouattara is the internationally recognized winner of last November's election, but Gbagbo, at least until now, has refused to give up power. More than 1,500 people have been killed in the political crisis in the last 4 months. And with more on this, we are joined by Jean-Hilaire Yapi. He's president of the Ivorian Congress of Canada. Thank you for coming here today to talk to us about this.
Thank you to give me the chance to be here.
For sure. You know, we've covered a lot of this in the last 4 months. It seems like we're entering the final stage of this process. I know you've been watching this very closely. What do you think is going to happen now for Laurent Gbagbo?
I think that, you know, the question can be twofold. My expectations or what will happen? What will happen will depend on how wise will be the international community to condemn the coup that France is operating in Ivory Coast. How it will end? We have two issues. Laurent Gbagbo is in his right, and probably they will need to kill him before he
gives up power.
Kill him before they remove him from power. Otherwise, they accept to negotiate and to talk about the election and to reevaluate it, to know the truth about the election.
You said a coup, and what you're talking about is you disagree with the idea of France sending in troops. You disagree with a military intervention in Ivory Coast to settle this.
Exactly.
And why do you disagree with that?
Because French is, you know, in French we say conflit d'intérêt.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah, French has a conflict of interest in Ivory Coast. You know that Ivory Coast is the former colony of France, and we are supposed to be independent, but we have never been independent. And the French gives himself the right to decide who should rule in a French-speaking African country. All the French-speaking African countries are ruled by dictators protected by French. When one African leader comes and doesn't agree with the way French is acting, then they arm the opposition, they give them some guns and everything,
and they go in
to attend a coup. And what is happening here is a coup attended by Ouattara's troops since 2002, only 2 years after Laurent Gbagbo have been elected.
So, in your mind, what was the best way to resolve this? I mean, we saw 4 months of a standoff. People were being killed in the streets. Both sides of this issue were at fault to a certain extent. What was the best solution here?
The best solution, I think, is it's the only reasonable solution when there is an election and you say that you have won. I say that I have won. We can just find some people outside of the process, come, give them all the papers.
Like outside mediators?
Outside mediators, but outside mediators, we are not involved with interest in the...
Conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Do you think that Gbagbo lost the election in November? Do you think the international community is correct in saying that he lost it?
No way Gbagbo lost the election. You know what? The election had taken place in a situation where the North were still controlled by armed rebels. And Gbagbo refused the election to take place because of that fact. Legally, our constitution in Ivory Coast says that states that we cannot have an election if the country is divided and a part of the country is under the threat of guns. But international community says Gbagbo doesn't want to go to the election, and they put pressure on it and it accepts. Then during the election, what happened is, it's true, it is documented, there are the proofs of that. Ouattara used his rebels to
take power.
Not to take power, but the person supporting the supporters of Gbagbo have been killed during the vote. Even his representation in the vote office could not be there. They didn't vote for him.
Right.
They put a lot of, there were a massive fraud, a lot of violence just to make sure that Gbagbo will not have any
legitimacy.
Vote, no, any vote in the north.
I want to thank you for coming in here. I know we're out of time, but I appreciate you coming in here and sharing this with us.
Okay.
Hopefully we can have you back
I hope
as
so.
this story develops.
I hope so.
Appreciate it,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Yapi.
Thank you.